as a photographer, it's important to consider your background as well as your foreground. I've got this wonderful piece of street art over my shoulder, but rather than standing right in front of it, I've found something in the foreground to complement it, namely this metal wiring. Now, first thing we're going to do, just put the camera up there and try and frame up and see what we've got. I'm angling towards this street art and it kind of looks okay, but there's a lot of mess. We're just outside of a car park and I don't want this red car, and we've got this beautiful hanging basket. I don't want it in my frame though, so I'm just going to punch in on the 2x zoom lens here, and this instantly becomes much more pleasing. So from a composition point of view, that's got no distractions. I've got a foreground, which is these wonderful bars here, and then I've got the background, which is the art itself. And also the roof line creates another set of interesting angles. So there's a lot there to like. However, coming back to the actual focus, what is my camera's point of focus? I'm kind of wanting to have a little bit more control. So because you can tap on the screen and try and get your camera to focus on various points in the kind of depth of field here, but it's struggling a little bit. Thankfully, there is a Pro mode on this camera, so I'm just going to swipe along to more. They call it the Pro Expert mode. Tap on that, like that. I just need to reset myself onto the 2x lens, and then by looking at AF across the bottom, autofocus, but actually I'm into manual focus, so I can just slide across the bottom here. And you can see how everything's gone blurry. By setting manual focus now, it's focusing on a point maybe infinitely in the distance, I don't know. And that's sent everything blurry. But as I just kind of scroll, swipe to the left a little bit, some of my image starts to come into focus, like around about here, 0.66, 0.68, my bars in the foreground, nicely in focus. But this art in the background, which is itself kind of a multi-exposure, slightly unfocused piece, I think the foreground is now complementing the background. So I've got my bars running vertically back. I've got this diagonal, this chevron, this triangle that's both leading my eyes up towards the top left, but also down towards the bottom right. And then I've also got this point of interest in the background. It's going to take a few frames of that and just try some different focal lengths as well. Maybe I want to be looking through and I want to have all of my bars unfocused. There we go. And let's just try some in focus again. There we go. Probably not going to know which ones work best until I do the review, so let me take a few of those and we'll take a look. Almost there with this shot, but not quite. I've got the car from the car park in the kind of in the semi-foreground there. It's a little bit distracting. The aerial popping up is a little bit inopportune. There's also the sign on the wall and the CCTV camera on the bottom left that are distracting from the main thrust of the image. It's almost there, but not quite. Now this is an unexpected little jewel. With the manual focus, I've made it here so that everything is thrown out of focus, but I really rather like it. It's got a wonderful abstract nature. It could be that I'm looking through some stained glass windows, or it could almost feel like it's a watercolor that has let the paint just run through the water and it's all kind of lost a bit of definition. Not what I had in mind, but a really rather happy accident, I think. The wall art in the background, that is out of focus. You can still see the colors there, but really it's the bars in the foreground, and there's some nice verticals there. These are what's in focus. I can still see the car, I can still see the sign, but actually they kind of fit in with the colors in the background so they don't become a distraction. I probably wouldn't even know what they were if I was looking at this. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this.